Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shagok, your host, and today I will take a look at exactly what makes a dragon into a dragon lord in the anime of Overlord. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, and say my thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's take a look at the topic at hand. Overlord has a large variety of sometimes more, sometimes less powerful dragons. Whether it is the nocturnally active Brightness Dragonlord, who somehow managed to have offspring with a human woman, even though biologically speaking, this should be impossible. Or the undead Elder Coffin Dragonlord, Cure Elim Los Malvar, who transformed an entire nation into an undead horde and enveloped himself in armor made from numerous, countless, unimaginably many living corpses. Relentlessly he trained for hundreds of years in order to do battle against the players who pollute his world and his very magic with their mere existence and boundless greed. And of course Platinum Dragonlord, the dragon likely based on the deity of good and righteous dragons called Bahamut, or the Platinum Dragon from Dungeons & Dragons. And he is also worthy mention because he is basically the strongest living dragon today. And like his supposed inspiration from Dungeons & Dragons, he also sees himself as the guardian of the new world, aiming to protect it from the harmful influence of the players and their polluting magic. And then of course there are the Frost Dragons, who have subjugated the Quagoa and their draconic leader, Olasir Dark Halil. And he was attempting to establish his own Frost Dragon realm. Not just out of ambition or out of an itch for power, but because Olasir shared the mountains with the Frost Giants, who are so large and powerful that they pose a significant threat to his very kind. Either he conquers them, or they conquer him and his kin. This was his main concern, and therefore he aimed to be the first, in order to conquer them. And of course, they are the Dragon Counselors of Arkland, which in addition to Platinum are comprised of 4 other Dragon Lords, all similarly strong, or perhaps even stronger than the strongest of the regular Pleiades, Naberal Gamma. And then there are the mighty Dragon Twins controlled by Mare, and one of them had flown the Floor Guardians Aura and Mare on its back right into the Imperial capital. Yet between these dragons there is a significant difference that is anything but obvious, because not every dragon is a dragon lord, and even humans can be true or indeed false dragon lords. The classification of who is one and who can never be one unless something vital changes is surprisingly simple. For a dragon lord, the strength and power of a dragon are not decisive, nor is the order or the state to which they have pledged allegiance. Even the undead status of Cure Elim Los Malvar is by no means a problem or something that would exclude him from this very status. No. What makes a true dragon lord is commanding the original magic of the new world, the so-called wild magic. This magic form differs significantly from the tier magic that initially existed only virtually in the game world of Yggdrasil Online, and then it was brought alongside the players and the world items, and of course everything else near those world items, into the new world. Probably because the dragons performed a ritual that failed. And this very failure is also likely the reason why the Dragon Lords are seemingly becoming an extinct species, as tier magic becomes increasingly prevalent and progressively displaces the last remnants of wild magic. I think this simply stems from the fact that the world items players and their magic didn't originally exist, and then, in a way, a portion of the wild magic of the dragons was used to realize and fuel tier magic and the reincarnation of players into their avatars. Imagine running a second video game on your computer. Both games, tier magic and wild magic, share the computing resources of your computer. And when tier magic becomes increasingly more prevalent and runs parallel to wild magic, the frame rate of wild magic drops significantly because it now has far fewer computing resources at hand. And this more or less is how tier magic pollutes wild magic, at least in my opinion. So just like that, wild magic must have lost numerous resources to the tier magic, making it now harder to access and use. Or as the Dragon Lords put it is now polluted and twisted. And this pollution, or to put it neutrally, alteration runs truly deep. Now to return to Olarsir Dark Helilial, the Frost Dragon. This dragon, who was born after the arrival of the 6 players into the New World, is not a true Dragon Lord, which is very interesting, simply because he has the species class Dragon Lord, albeit only at level 1. However, the crux of the matter becomes evident when we look at dragons who, as they age, automatically unlock more and more magical power. And our example, Olarsir had unlocked the 3rd tier of magic already. And here you can already see what I'm getting at. The 3rd tier means that he, as he aged, has unlocked tier magic instead of wild magic, the very magic of the soul, which his ancestors likely could still use. However, he can't. Instead, he learned on a biological stage, on a instinctual level, tier magic, despite it not being from the New World, at least originally. This means that this dragon, born in the New World, who most likely also descended from other Dragon Lords from the New World, and who has the class Dragon Lord, cannot be a Dragon Lord from the perspective of the New World and the true Dragon Lords, because he cannot use wild magic. The magic of the soul is denied to him in exchange for tier magic. However, we also know that there are Dragon Lords who can use tier magic, namely Cure Elim Los Malvar. And this Dragon Lord could use tier magic, which he himself despises, and his original wild magic. And since the Dragon Lords of Arkland could indeed teach wild magic to the citizens, or at least part of them, it might be that Olarsir would have still become a true Dragon Lord if he had studied there, simply by learning wild magic. And to come back to the beginning of the video and Brightness Dragon Lord, as you remember, the good man was very nocturnally active, and yet spent the whole night in bed, if you understand what I mean. And one of the results of his nocturnal activities was the so-called Dragon Kingdom and their rulers, a human civilization with the half-human half-dragon descendants of Brightness Dragon Lord at the very top. However, as the descendants could only reproduce with other humans, their dragon blood diluted steadily, so that each child had more and more problems using the wild magic that their ancestors still could unleash upon their enemies, and which they presumably also used to establish the Dragon Kingdom in the very first place. And this led in turn to the situation where the current ruler of the kingdom, Draudilon Auriculus, can no longer properly control wild magic, and it requires a tremendous sacrifice to unleash the powerful abilities of her ancestors that still slumber in her very blood. But this also led to Draudilon Auriculus, who can still use wild magic, to still being considered a true Dragon Lord. However, because she has such difficulties in using this very magic, and since it is as of yet unclear or rather unconfirmed whether or not and to what extent she has ever used it, she is also often referred to as the false Dragon Lord, earning her the epithet of true false Dragon Lord. This raises the question, if Draudilon, due to her diluted blood, can hardly use wild magic anymore, and if in the state of Arkland the Dragon Lords actually teach wild magic, is the population all at least to a degree, a dragon hybrid? Do they all carry dragon blood within their veins? Which also, of course, would then lead to the preservation of the bloodlines. Or if only the fury of wild magic can still be passed down. And whether or not Draudilon could better her magical capabilities and actually learn to use wild magic properly, if she would study in the Arkland Council State, similarly to how Rudius Gereyrad could study magic in the Academy of Ranoa. And whether or not she even did try this already or not, because remember, she is quite old, despite looking very young. And yes, this is Noe from Fire Emblem Awakening, and not Draudilon, because we still haven't gotten any official artwork of her, despite her supposed debut in the Overlord, in the third season of Overlord, which sadly did not happen. But I digress. And with that said, now you know what a true Dragon Lord, at least by the definition of the old true Dragon Lords, truly is. And with that said, now it's your turn. Let me know your thoughts and ideas about the Dragon Lords and about Draudilon Auriculus's special status. And while you type, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Other Daddy Other, ASK, Bedgar Ye, Bed Burrito 316, Bezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragon Lord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragon Lord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Firalchivan, Guy with That Hat, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Love Razor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, oh hell no, Normal Toad, Okill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantom, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Cune Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenukai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.